Hey, Bryce Tubbs here. So I just want to talk about like where to start a bookkeeping business and like what is the most misunderstood part of bookkeeping and business management. So a lot of people when they're first starting their business, they kind of get caught off guard with what running a business actually is. I know I certainly did when I got started. I got started with my accounting and bookkeeping firm about 7 years ago. And like for me, I just wanted to be able to not have a boss and be able to kind of control my own schedule, which, both of which I've accomplished now, right? But when I was first getting started, it was just totally different because the phases of startup are different than the phase of like kind of when you're in that traction phase. And when you're first starting, it's a mixture of doing the work, but until you have some work to do, you have to be focused on sales and marketing. That's the most misunderstood part. So most people, like whenever I hear them talking about running a business, they almost sound kind of like an artist or like a painter. And like the artist, like all I want to do is like paint. That's all I want to do all day. And unfortunately, like when you're starting, if you have no one to buy your paint, you're not going to be, in an artist, like a self-employed artist for very long. It's the same thing with accounting and bookkeeping. If all you want to do is just kind of bury your head and just do the books, I mean, you might as well kind of just stay in a job. I'm not trying to be offensive, but in order to either freelance or start your own business, you have to have clients who actually are going to be paying you money and you actually have some work to do. And when you're starting out, like you have to be juggling some roles and some hats. Now, the most important role that you're going to ever juggle is your sales and your marketing hat. Now, these are slightly different things. So most people think that sales and marketing is the same thing, right? And they oftentimes say, I don't know how to do the marketing. When really what they mean is they don't know, one, how to find the leads, and two, they don't know how to get the leads to actually sign up. Now, these are the most important things because if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to actually grow like to the $5,000 a month level, $10,000 a month level, 15, however your goal is. You need to be able to get people to not only come and raise their hand and say they're ready, but also make sure that they, will sign up with you. Because there's nothing more frustrating than when you're starting, you finally took all this time, you finally found someone who's interested, then they don't sign up for whatever reason. They kind of just give you a bunch of like, kind of BS in a lot of cases, or they just kind of start making a bunch of excuses. It can be really, really frustrating, at least for me, like, because I went through about, I went through about 35 consultations. And the first time around that I started my business, I actually shut down the business because I just couldn't do it. So it was kind of like I was going like networking events and I was trying to talk to people and trying to get people to pay me money, but it was just like, no, Bryce, no thanks. I already have someone. No thanks. Oh, that's way too much. It was just constantly left and right and left and right. And I just wasn't prepared in the beginning because I just assumed that like, oh, all I do is I just say I'm in business, I put up a website, and then people will like find the website and just start coming. And what I didn't know, and most people don't know this, is like you type in the word accountant, even accountant near you, you get about 491,000 results. Your website's not going to be seen for most cases, right? Especially if you're writing like blog posts, if you're just trying to go out there. And if you don't really understand going in that your job is going to be, hey, you got to become like this just machine where it's like, how to build relationships, how to go and talk to people, how to get your point across, how to be very, very persuasive, how to get people to really buy into your vision. That's when you really start making a lot of money. That's when you really start being able to grow. So the first thing you always got to be thinking about is like, number one, like how many people did I speak to this week? If you didn't have at least one consultation in the week, then it's going to be very hard for you to grow your business. A good goal that I always like to have, especially when I'm like in a growth phase, I'm trying to grow the business, you got to have at least two consultations. Consultation just means where you're sitting in front of someone, you're basically educating them on how you can help them out, and then just giving a price quote at the end. If you don't do that at least 2 times per week, you're not going to be able to grow your business. Now, again, 2 times per week is generally what the goal and the KPI, the key performance indicator that I give to my students inside of the mentorship program, because my students close anywhere between 50 to 80% of the people I speak to sign up with them. So as long as you have two in a given week, you're going to get a client. And you just keep doing that same pace until either you hit capacity or you reach your income goal, or you just reach your income goal and you kind of get satiated or satisfied. Now, if you want some help growing your business, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, like you can go ahead and book a call to basically just book a call with me to see if I can help you out. And on that call, I'm just going to look at you and say, hey, okay, so this is where you're at. Based on what I'm seeing, like this is kind of where the direction you're going. If you want to instead reach this point, which you said is your goal, what you're doing right now is not going to kind of get you there. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. Like it's not going to get you there. Now we're going to design a new game plan. It's going to say, okay, so this is what you actually need to do. This is what it's actually going to take. And if you're willing to do this kind of work and you're willing to do these steps, like this is what's going to get you to success. And if you want further help to actually be able to accomplish those steps, we can work together inside the mentorship program. And I can just talk to you about the pricing, and we can get you onboarded, and we can move forward toward your goal together. And back to what we were saying just even before then, like you need to make sure that you're getting at least 2 a week. If you can get 2 a week, you're going to be golden. If you can get 4 a week, you're not going to have any money problems. Now, in order to do that, you do need to start really just learning just how to do marketing. Now, a lot of people, when they think about marketing, they think marketing means like you're posting on social media. And the reason why like that does make sense when you're starting out is because like you see all these big companies, like all they do is advertise, all they do is like make videos, or you see like these influencers online just making advertising videos where they post about their service. Now, when you're starting out, like that's very hard to make that work. If you don't have the right people like seeing your posts, then there just doesn't get any traction, and that leads to a lot of frustration because there's a lot of people that I spoke to this one lady last year, and she was like spending 2 hours a day making social media posts because she didn't really know what to say. So she was spending all her time just kind of brainstorming. Then once she brainstormed, then she would, try and make the pretty colors on Canva and get the fonts just right and get everything to line up. And it's just like, man, if you had spent that 2 hours just doing activities to go and connect with the right business owners, you wouldn't even have a problem with money, right? For example, like one of my students, his name is JT. So nowadays, like he wasn't even doing posts on like Facebook until he was at least 12 grand a month. It was once he was at 12 grand a month that it was like, okay, cool, man. So we don't really have a huge amount of time for you to be spending every single day talking to people. So let's make the content, because now you have the right people who are actually seeing the content first. Now, if you know how to do social media, like you first have to get the leads to even be on your friends list or on your business page list. Then once they're on the business page list, then when you start making content, that's when you get people to raise their hand. That's when you get people to start reaching out. That's when you start getting those messages saying, hey, like, how can I help you? But most people do it out of order. They try and make the post first before they have the people. And if you do the wrong thing out of order, it just doesn't work, right? You need the people, and then you need the posts. Now, if you're not spending at least 50%, 60, 90% of your working time, like the time you're spending on your business when you're first starting, on growing this list of people that know you exist, you're not going to really survive long term. So you got to make sure you can do that first. We have other videos on this channel that show you exactly how to go and use different social media platforms to accomplish this goal. Like we have a video on how to use LinkedIn, we have a video on how to use Instagram, how to use Facebook, so that you can make sure that you can go and grow your business in the shortest time period possible. Now, even though these videos are very valuable and it's going to show you how to go and make money, even if you never pay me for my program or for my mentorship, like it is easier for you to go and just pay me to work together so I can just give you the stuff in the step-by-step order. Those videos are great, but since it's not customized to you, you actually have to go and fill in the gaps and make sure that it makes sense for you in your life and your style, your personality. But if you want something that's custom tailored to you, then it might make sense for you to go and join the Six Figure Firms Mentorship Program. That's the program I take people to go from either where they're starting right now to about $10,000 to about $12,000 per month. Basically, how to go and start a six-figure firm in the shortest time period possible. And if that's you and you want some help, you're tired of kind of waiting on the sideline, you're kind of tired of playing it safe, and feeling like you're not really making as much progress towards your goals what you would want, go ahead and book that call. I mean, you have nothing really to lose. It's free. And even if it's not a good fit for us to work together, I always want to make sure that you still have a game plan. You still know exactly what you need to do to go and accomplish your goal. And then, even point you in the right direction for available resources to you. So if you want some help, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below. Book the call. I'll see you there. If you're not quite ready yet, there's no harm, no foul. I'll see you inside the next video. Can't wait to give you some value there. Talk to you soon. Have a good one.